The wind down to the weekend is truly one of the best events around. Matt Rao, the Reitz home, is here to invite you to enjoy the music on the lawn. Good to see you, Matt.
Good morning, Angie.
Well, it is a lovely event, and it's that time of year.
Everything is cooling down a little bit, and it's nice to be outside again. And we did have wind down last week. We started last week with a nice night in the yard. We had the Steve Greenwell Quartet, and the Mesker Music Trust is very kind and pays for the musicians who play at our event, and we appreciate that very much. Wind Down to the Weekend is outdoors, and it's on our lawn where the band plays on the veranda, and it's easy to socially distance outside. People come, all sorts of neighbors and people downtown come and bring blankets and sit all over the lawn and enjoy the music. And that's something that I hope that you will join us for this fall. It's a great evening, and it's only from 5 to 7. It's over at 7 o'clock, so it's a great thing to do before you go out to dinner or something like that downtown.
And who's the band this week?
Well, we're actually having it next week because I believe that Romp is in Owensboro.
Right,
this
that's
week.
true.
And we didn't want to compete with Romp, or should I say they compete with us. So we're actually going to have one down next week on the 23rd. And it's someone that you and I both know. It's Kings Highway.
Love Kings Highway.
They always bring a big crowd with their bluegrass, and we enjoy them very much.
That's a great lineup. And one of the fun things about this event is you have such an eclectic choice of music.
Well, you know, those different bands kind of bring a different crowd with them. And there is, I like to think there's something for everyone. We have jazz, we have the bluegrass, we had some kind of jazz rock last week, and they do all bring a different, slightly different crowd. And then we have our regulars that come no matter what, that they enjoy it too.
Well, it's just a lovely experience. Now, I have to ask you about the oyster roast, which is so popular. What's going to happen with that?
Well, we made a very tough decision. Maria Hoover, Dr. Maria Hoover, who is the host of our event, and I met last week, and we decided to postpone our oyster roast indefinitely because of the COVID numbers. The numbers have just gone up and up in Vanderburgh County, as you know, and we're very disappointed because there's a lot of public interest in our oyster roast. And it is an outdoor event, but with people being very close together and shucking oysters and eating oysters, we felt like it would be hard to socially distance.
Right.
And I am disappointed, but I know it's the right thing to do. And we are looking at some other dates for the oyster roast, some dates in November and in December that I think would be fine if the numbers go down. And we're gonna reconvene in a couple of weeks, Dr. Hoover and I, to make that decision. But I anticipate that we will have our oyster roast in November or December, and I hope that our friends who are still looking forward to it will still come.
Well, that's always a popular event. And ticket sales, how do people get their tickets, Matt? Are you asking to hold off until you know the date?
Well, you know, I did send out invitations. A lot of people may have gotten their invitation to the oyster roast in the mail, and then a few people have sent checks, and then some people called last week to make reservations, and I started a list of people who had called, and then it's only a few people that sent checks, but we're going to call them and see if they want us to send their check back or hold on to it until we're sure what's going on, because it's just a little up in the air right now. But if you think that you want to come, call and let us know. I'll put you on the list to be notified as soon as our plans are firm.
Thank you so much for being with us, Matt. It's always good to see you.
Thank you, Angie.